Every love story has two versions, the one you tell your friends, and the one you never tell anyone. This is about the second one, a story about love, comfort, temptation, and the moment when silence becomes its own kind of lie. Jason and Maya had been together for 3 years. They met in college, fell in love the way most people do, slowly, then all at once. Their friends called them the perfect couple. Their families already joked about the wedding. On paper, everything looked right. But somewhere between year 1 and year 3, something quietly shifted. Not a fight, not a betrayal, just routine, waking up, going to work, coming home, watching something on a screen, sleeping, repeating. Love doesn't die in an explosion. It fades in small, silent moments that nobody notices until it's too late. One evening, Maya walked in with grocery bags, smiling, ready to share her day. Jason was on the couch, phone in hand, half listening. She waited for him to look up. He didn't. It was such a small moment. But small moments, repeated enough times, start to feel like proof that you don't matter anymore. She didn't say anything. She just walked to the kitchen and unpacked the groceries alone. At work, things were different. There was a coworker, Ethan, charming, attentive, the kind of person who noticed things. He noticed when she was tired. He noticed when she was stressed. He brought her coffee without being asked. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't even romantic. Not at first. It was just attention, the kind she used to get from Jason. Back when things were new, nights at the office turned into shared laughs. Shared laughs turned into short walks to the parking lot. Short walks turned into texts after hours. Get home safe. That meeting was painful, wasn't it? You looked exhausted today. Are you okay? Nothing physical happened. That's what she kept telling herself. Nothing happened. But one night, her phone buzzed while she sat next to Jason on the couch. She smiled at the message, then quickly turned the screen away. When he looked over, "Who was that?" he asked. "Just work," she said. It wasn't exactly a lie, but it wasn't the truth either. And that's usually how it starts. Not with the decision to betray someone, but with 100 small silences that pile up until they become a wall. Weeks passed. The messages became a habit. The smiles became easier to hide. And somewhere in all of it, Maya stopped noticing that she had started living two different lives. The one she showed Jason, and the one that existed only in her phone. Then came the rainy night. She was sitting in a car outside a restaurant with Ethan after a long work dinner. The rain tapped softly on the windshield. The conversation had turned quiet, comfortable, a little too close. "You don't have to go back tonight," Ethan said softly. For 1 second, one terrifying second, she considered it. Then her phone lit up on her lap. A memory notification. A photo from 3 years ago. Her and Jason on their very first date. Both laughing. Both impossibly happy. Both completely unaware of everything that was coming. Her eyes filled with tears. "I can't," she whispered. "Because 3 years ago, I promised someone I wouldn't become this person." She stepped out of the car into the rain and walked away without looking back. Ethan called after her once. She didn't turn around. As she walked home, soaked and shaking, something inside her broke open. She realized the truth she had been avoiding for weeks. She hadn't cheated with her body, but she had cheated with her attention, with her laughter, with the parts of herself she used to save only for Jason, and somehow, that felt even more dangerous. When she got home, Jason stood up immediately, worried. "Maya, what happened? You're soaked. Are you okay?" "I need to tell you something," she said, voice breaking. "And I need you to let me finish before you say anything." He went still. "There's someone at work," she said. "Nothing happened between us. I promise you that. But I let myself feel something I shouldn't have. And the scariest part isn't him. It's that I didn't even notice when I stopped choosing you every single day." Silence filled the room. A silence heavier than anything either of them had ever felt. 3 years. Jason finally said, quietly. "And you're telling me now because guilt caught up to you. Not because you wanted to." "I know," she said, tears falling freely out. "And that's the part I can't forgive myself for either." He didn't yell. He didn't storm out. He just sat there, processing, hurting in a way that didn't need loud words to be understood. The days that followed were quiet, careful, painful. They barely spoke, not out of anger, but because neither of them knew what to say anymore. Then one morning, Jason packed a small bag. "I'm not leaving because you made a mistake," he said, standing by the door. "I'm leaving because I need to know something. I need to know if I actually fought for us these past few months, or if I got just as comfortable as you did. Maybe more." Maya stood frozen, watching him. "Maybe we find our way back to each other," he continued. "Maybe we don't. But either way, we both need to remember how to choose each other again. Or maybe, how to choose ourselves." He kissed her forehead, not like a lover saying goodbye for the night, but like someone closing a chapter that had quietly ended long before either of them admitted it. Then he walked out. The door clicked shut softly behind him. Maya slid down against the wall and cried, not just for Jason, not just for the mistake, but for the version of herself that had slowly disappeared somewhere in the middle of comfort and routine. 6 months passed. Maya sat alone on a park bench on a quiet afternoon. She looked different now, calmer, steadier, more at peace with herself than she had been in a long time. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She glanced at it, but this time she didn't rush to check who it was. She let it sit there, unanswered, and looked up at the sky instead, because somewhere in the last 6 months, she had learned something important. Cheating isn't always about someone else. Sometimes, it's about who you slowly stop being for the person who loves you. It's about the small moments you give away without noticing. Your attention, your laughter, your presence, until one day, there's nothing left to give. And real love, the kind worth keeping, then about never being tempted. Temptation will always exist. It's about what you choose to do when no one is watching. It's about noticing the small silences before they turn into walls. It's about choosing someone again and again, even on the days when it isn't easy. Maya never found out if Jason came back, and honestly, that wasn't the point of her story anymore. The point was learning to be someone worth coming back to, for him, or for whoever came next, or simply for herself. So here's the real question this story leaves behind. If you were in Maya's place, would you have told the truth the moment you felt that first spark of temptation? Or would you have stayed silent, hoping it would fade away on its own? Think about it, and if this story made you feel something, write your honest answer in the comments below.